We're going to talk about boring apartments today and how to fix it. Bring some life back into it, make it less sad. Before my husband and I moved into this house, we lived in a sad gray apartment. And let me tell you, it was genuinely so hard to decorate. It was always changing and nothing ever felt right. But I'm going to tell y'all how to make it feel right because there's nothing wrong with those apartments. They're great, but they also are very dull. They're usually all gray, and gray is a color that I loathe. I'm not gonna lie to you, there's not an ounce of gray in this home. I think it's a shame that people choose gray over anything else, but sometimes it's what you're stuck with, so I'm gonna show you what I would do and how to help you fix that situation. And throughout this video, and if you've watched my channel, you'll see I'm definitely not a modern girly. Some of my pieces are modern, but I'm definitely a more British English type of girl. Love those styles. So this apartment is going to be leaning towards that. I'm definitely not going to decorate it in a modern way. So if you love British style, but you live in a gray box apartment, those two are kind of like polar opposites, but I'm just gonna try and help you figure out a way to implement that style into this apartment. I found this apartment. This is actually a real apartment, and it's nothing, terrible. Nice kitchen, nice appliances, but the walls are gray and the floors are gray. It just reminds me of that Barbie movie when the lady makes them wear gray dresses. You know what I mean? Just sucks the life out of them. That's what this reminds me of. So anyways, we're gonna fix that, starting with the living room. First thing, get a nice rug. I love a stripe. I've mentioned this before. I love a striped rug. I think it's fun. I think even if you have a patterned couch and a patterned rug, I think it's really fun. And the rug is something that if you don't have a ton of furniture that's colorful, or you're on a budget and you don't want to buy a ton of pieces that are super colorful, the rug is really going to do the heavy lifting. I have a striped rug and I feel like it really does add a little something special to the room. I mentioned in my last video how all of my rugs are like from fast furniture places, and a lot of you mentioned getting rugs from Etsy or Facebook Marketplace, and I completely agree. Etsy actually has a ton of really nice vintage rugs that are very unique and colorful. So I'd recommend going on there, especially if you're on a budget, because for some reason, rugs are the one thing that I'm like, I really don't want to put money into this, but it is so important because it's such a large piece for your home. But, sometimes you don't have that kind of cash. So if you're looking for a nice rug, maybe try Etsy, or even places like West Elm. Like my rug is from West Elm. I used to work there, so this couch, this chair, and my rug are from there, and they have really good quality stuff. I would say just stay away from like the printed faux Persian rugs and you'll be good. Anyway, nice big rug, add some color in it, maybe a stripe, maybe a floral. That's done. Next, a couch. Get a warm tone couch. If it's a white couch, make sure it's like a cream and not a bright pure white. If it's like this color, this camely golden color, maybe make it a velvet or a linen, just something with interest and texture so it's not another gray object in your home. I would always stay away from gray couches. A gray couch makes me sad. Sorry to all the gray couches lovers out there, but it's not for me. So, a nice warm couch, whether it's white, whether it's tan, whether even a blue or a green, you just want it to be warmer and cozier. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the window treatments. If you have plastic blinds, I have plastic blinds in my house, which one day I'll change, but especially in an apartment, usually they're a lot smaller, so you have like maybe one or two windows. Easy, very easy to find. Go on Amazon, you can get bamboo shades. I think they're like $30 to $50 per shade. Put that on. They're really easy to install, especially if you already have blinds there. Just kind of take them off, maybe store them under your bed. Replace them with some wood. And wood is another thing that we're going to implement in this space because You need wood that's not fake or gray, because most of those apartments have both of those things. So, nice bamboo shade, add some interest, and then on top of that, we're gonna do curtains and a curtain in a color. I have pink curtains in my home, and for some reason, the pink, I think it goes with everything. It's kind of like a neutral in my opinion. So get yourself a colored shade. And Amazon actually has really good ones. All of my curtains are from Amazon, and they're affordable. They do the job. You can get linen ones, you can get blackout ones. I would say in an apartment, maybe you want blackout if there's a lot of city light around you, and a nice sturdy curtain rod. Get some color in those drapes, maybe a pattern if you're feeling crazy, but just a nice colored drape, and make sure it's hung at the very top of the ceiling and much wider than your actual window. It'll make the space or the window look a lot bigger than it actually is. For the light fixture, these are the easiest things to replace. We did it in our house. We still have a couple light fixtures like back there I want to change. So easy. You just unscrew the light fixture, store it away in your closet, under the bed. You can get a light fixture on IKEA, Amazon, wherever. Amazon actually has really good ones. And IKEA, this one I have in this rendering is from IKEA, and it looks almost identical to Beata Heyman's. I did Photoshop the, what is that called? The cord, whatever plugs into the ceiling, to be colored, but you could easily do that in real life, just spray paint it. I love a globe, especially a lantern, and paper lanterns especially are so affordable. You can get some for like, I don't know, $10, upwards of $15, $20. That will instantly make your space look so much better instead of like a modern light fixture they usually put in apartments. Okay, pendant light, done. I would recommend changing them. It can drastically change your space, and it's just gonna look so much better, and it's really easy to put back once you move out. For the rest of the furniture in the living room, I would recommend something colorful, something wood, and something a little bit modern if your sofa is not modern, and vice versa. If your sofa is super modern and square, then have a chair that's like a statement piece, maybe a little English, maybe a little ornamental. I think that's the key of having an interesting space, having one item in each style, whether it's like mid-century and English or Danish and American, just something different so it adds interest to the space, and it's not like it's all from IKEA, even though IKEA is great, but you don't want your entire space to look like it's from there. It can get very flat very quickly. Maybe throw in a vintage chair if you have one. And if your space is laid out like this, I would always recommend having sofa and then chairs on facing each other on opposite sides. So maybe one chair, or I think they're called captain's chairs, next to each other, and then maybe some stools at the other side, just so there's a lot of seating, but it doesn't feel overwhelmed. I think seating can get kind of claustrophobic if they're all the same size and height. So adding in stools that are a little bit lower and then a chair, maybe it's a little bit higher than the couch, I think it complements the room and you have lots of space to entertain and have guests sit. For the coffee table, this is a great time to add in color. I love an upholstered coffee table. This one I have here is upholstered, and it's so fun. This is the easiest DIY. I kind of want to do a video on it because I made this coffee table that's upholstered, and it's very easy to change out if you change your mind. Just get a yard of fabric and a staple gun. That's all you need, and a thrifted table. So this is a really good opportunity to bring in something fun if the rest of your furniture is more minimal or not patterned or colorful. This is a good time to add that back in. And then for side tables, love a fun side table. You can get it on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, your local thrift store, antique store. This is where you can have a lot of fun instead of just getting one from Target. You can have a really fun one and then a really fun lamp on top. I think every seat should have a table nearby, and if it's a fun little one, I think it's so fun. Even if it's by the stools, having like a tiny little table like this one, I just love it. For art, I think bigger is better the biggest piece you can find. There's so many places you can get art. I think a really big piece above your couch is the way to go. And then add some sconces beside it. You can have wireless sconces that run on batteries, or you can do candle sconces, which is the easiest, most affordable option. I have those back here around this piece. You can find those easily at thrift stores. That's where I got mine. And you can change out the candles, have a fun, colorful candle in there, and you don't have to have the overhead light on. Just light them, put your little lamps on, creates the coziest space ever. As much warm light as you can get in a space, the better, especially if you're dealing with gray walls and gray flooring. Get that out of there, or try to cover it up. And then off to the side, I'll show you in another picture, this is where the kitchen island is. Put a fun piece of art above it, and then colorful stools, counter stools, or bar stools if you have a bar height countertop. I love a red chair. As y'all know, I love a pop of red. I think this is another opportunity to bring in some color and some texture, something fun. The stools I have, you can easily thrift. It kind of looks like the one I have back here, but easy to thrift and get some lacquer spray paint and spray them. And there's a million different places you can thrift or source chairs like this. You don't have to get something crazy. So that's the living room. It has a lot of color to it. And of course you'd add your like console across from the couch and maybe some art. Make sure your TV is eye level. Don't hang it above a fireplace or mount it to the wall. If you do mount it to the wall, make sure it's low. Just saying. But you'd have that across from the couch. Enclose the chairs and the seating to make it feel cozy and not have the TV as the center. But I think this is a really fun living room. Even if you can't paint, it's still fun to add in a lot of color with your pieces. And if you can paint, go right ahead. But most apartments like this are very strict and they just don't want you to. Moving on to the kitchen, which is directly next to the living room. First thing, again, light fixtures. The ones I put in are from IKEA. They're fun and colorful. They're affordable. I think a kitchen with good lighting makes the world of a difference. It just makes it so much more fun. And you spend a lot of time in your kitchen, so you want it to look good. And for art, make it as big as possible again, just like above the couch. And if you have tall ceilings, because usually these apartments have taller ceilings, add a little piece above a big piece, or vice versa. I think that adds a lot of interest, makes it more fun to look at, especially if you have like a tiny piece with like a big mat. It just, I don't know, adds some interest to a blank wall. And I love a pop of neon, and this one that I put in here is a nice fun neon. And then if you are a plate and or ceramic lover like me, this is where you need to display them. Get yourself a little shelf, maybe spray paint it, give it a nice color, again, adding as much color as we can, and you can display your favorite dishes in this little rack because no one wants them behind closed doors. If you are so proud of your dishes, put them on display. I love this one. A lot of old English houses have their dishes on display, and I think that even if you live in an apartment like this, doesn't mean you can't do it. I want to do this in my house too. I just love displaying dishes. It's like another piece of art. It's utilitarian too. You can take them down, use them, put them back. So cute. And then of course add a lamp. Every kitchen needs a lamp. No matter how big or small your kitchen is, put a lamp in there. I'm sure your kitchen has an outlet somewhere. Put it in a dark corner. If you don't have like lighting under the cabinets, throw a lamp. It needs it, I promise. And a fun rug. This is a great opportunity to add in some pattern and color as well. And since it's such a small area, you can get a really cool rug because rugs this size usually aren't too crazy expensive. And then a cute little vase and a flower on the kitchen island. And there you go. It's very simple, but it gets the job done, adds some personality, way better than a plain, boring white kitchen. And put some postcards all over your fridge door. Put everything on the fridge, and that adds a lot more interest as well. So there you go. Fun little kitchen, fun little living room. Let's move on to the bedroom. Bedrooms are a little bit easier, I think, since they're usually smaller. So again, changed light fixture. This one's the same as the other one in the living room. Just changed, what is that called? Why do I always blank? The cord. The whatever. The thing that goes into the ceiling. Change the color if you want. For these curtains, let's add in some pattern. Let's add in some texture, maybe a nice, really heavy, thick curtain, and then sheer curtains behind it. So you can close the sheer curtains during the day, have some more privacy, and then close the thick ones at night. This is another area where you can spend a little bit more since it's a smaller area and get the fun curtains that you've always wanted since it's just one room. For the rug, add in a fun rug as big as you can afford. This is another area you can just have some color and pattern involved. And for the bed, I hesitate to say get like an old English style bed because it kind of looks funny in like a high-rise apartment like this, like a very modern apartment. But if you can get a wood bed, I think that helps a lot because the space is so sterile. Having that warm wood element will really help. I wouldn't get something like too regal or like with posts just in a space like this because it kind of can look out of place. So just getting like a nice, well-made, warm wood bed will look great. And then on top of the bed, get yourself a nice patterned striped comforter or a floral comforter or just a bright color. Piglet in Bed, I think that's what it's called, has really, really good sheets and duvets that have a lot of fun colors. Would recommend going there. And for pillows, have fun. Get some stripes, get some floral, get some whatever you want. Block print. I put a striped one on these and I love it. I love a stripe mixed with a toile curtain. And behind the bed, instead of art, hang up a tapestry or a quilt. These are really fun to find secondhand. They're so intricate and add so much special interest to the room, and it covers a lot of space instead of having like a bunch of little pieces of art or a big framed piece of art. I think this is so soft and nice and it fits really well in a bedroom, and you can pull from the colors of that quilt or tapestry for the rest of the room. For side tables, I love matching side tables. I also love mixed matching side tables, but these are so fun and I actually really want to buy them. They're the IKEA, I don't know what the name is, but they're these neon big side tables, and this is a really great opportunity to display your favorite books, some pillows, some magazines, whatever you want. Adds a lot of interest to your space. And then above those, instead of regular lamps, try some sconces so you can have that table space for something else. Since you're not going to be able to like rewire your apartment walls, get plug-in sconces. These are really easy to find, and I feel like it makes the room look cozier. I love a bed that has sconces on either side, like pointing at you or pointing down, and usually there's 2 outlets by the bed in an apartment, so that is really easy to just plug them right in, screw them into the wall. If you have a blank wall beside your window, add in a chair. I said this, I think a couple videos ago. I love a pointless chair. Add some art on top of it or books. If you have a lot of books like I do or coffee table books, stack them up. Stack them up on a chair. And the chair can be really fun. It can be a really cool vintage find. Have a pattern on the seat or paint it, or maybe it is already a cool color. I think it's a really fun moment to have that kind of displayed, and maybe a piece of art above it. And then for your dresser, get a fun dresser, a nice warm wood dresser. This one I have is striped because again, I love stripes. And then a really fun lamp on top, maybe a pop of color. I always love a red lamp. This one's vintage. Pop a lamp on it and pop an art piece over it, especially if your room is like this and it has the electrical box in it. Easiest way to cover it, put art over it, or a dresser. As long as you can get to it, you'll be fine. Just place a piece of art over it. And there you go. Nice colorful room. It's cozy. You don't even notice the walls are gray. Lastly, for the bathroom, if you're able to paint or you're able to find the same color they use on the walls, this is a great area to do it. Or if you want to do the whole apartment, go ahead. That's up to you. But the bathroom is easiest because it's so small. This is an area where you can do a really fun color, maybe a really bright color or a really dark color. I love yellow and or purple in a bathroom. I don't know why. I just think it's so fun. Paint the ceiling, paint the walls, paint everything, and then add in a fun rug that's a pop of color, that's like contrasting to the wall color. And then a big piece of art above the toilet. This piece of art is going to be seen the most out of every art piece in your house because everyone has to use the toilet. So get something fun. Get something unique, something a little kooky, something a little... I love like a funny piece above the toilet that's like a little quirky, you know? Gives you a little laugh while you're doing your business. For the shower curtains, hang it higher than what they have if you can move the curtain rod. Move it up a little bit so it elongates the space and makes it feel like more luxurious and cozy. Again, you can get a really fun patterned shower curtain, or you can even make one. Get fabric from the store, make a really cool shower curtain, make it feel nice and luxurious. And then for shelving, so easy. You can get it from IKEA. You can get 2x4s from Lowe's, cut them, paint them, screw them to the wall, or use, brackets to hang them. This is a fun place to add some bright color and gives you more storage, because even though there's drawers down there, sometimes it's fun to have like your makeup on display. And again, add some art and then some flowers. Add flowers on the countertop and on the shelf. And then what I did is add a battery operated sconce in the middle of those mirrors, or if you don't have 2 mirrors, add it on a wall that's blank, so you don't have to turn on the lights all the way when you go into the bathroom. You can just leave that little guy on, because bathroom lights are notoriously very bright and white. I think having a little sconce that's really warm toned makes it really cozy. And I don't know about you, but I like showering with just a little lamp on. I don't know why, it just feels very cozy. So having a little sconce with that warm light will be very fun. Especially these newer apartments, their lighting is like so bright, you're kind of blinded, which is good for getting ready, but when you're trying to relax and shower, that's not exactly, you don't really want hospital lighting. You know what I mean? Not very flattering. So, I think that's all I have. These apartments, they're great for what they're used for. A nice, clean, new apartment. Who doesn't love that? You don't have to call your landlord and to fix a broken toilet or leaking roof. Everything's new, and they're nice. They're definitely not ugly by any means. They're literally just like a gray box, but they're boring. They are boring. So if you have style like me, that's very eclectic, very bright, very cozy and colorful, but you live in a place like this, hopefully this video was helpful in just showing you that it is possible to get your apartment looking how you want, even if you don't live in like an English cottage. Because trust me, I've been there and I can relate. Let me know if y'all have any extra tips on what you do in your apartments, or show me your apartment. Send me a little pic on Instagram of what you've done with your apartment, because I want to see. Because I haven't lived in an apartment like this in a while, so I'm wondering like what I would do if I lived in one now. Probably just the same as this situation. The moral of the story is, if you can go bigger and brighter and more colorful in a space like this, that's your best bet. So anyway, hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you next time.